One thing we know is that both of these players possess world-class backhands. Not only that, by the way, but their backhands are quite extraordinary, both of these players. So we'll see some heavyweight hitting from that side across court, I'm sure. Test each other out.
So as is the case, we tend to focus on the underdog and what you might have to do here, Zhang. And Mark, what's the key for Triple Z?
Look, it's not a bad start. He looks very relaxed. He's not intimidated by this occasion at all. And what a nice feel that was for that slice forehand coming in. He had an incredible first match. I think he's just got to play his game. He's got the game to you know, he's got weapons to hang in with the best, and he's just got to go out there and just let it loose, let it go, and enjoy himself.
Had a couple of wins against top tenors in his career.
15-14.
US Open, Medvedev and Halle last year. Oh, brilliant play to get the opening service break. Well, the drop shot's always dangerous. Zverev was a long way back and it was well executed.
Gee, I thought he'd overplayed it. He got a lot of height there, gave it some airtime, and Zverev had time to get in there. But pinpoint accuracy. Well, he's got the break early, hasn't he? And he served awfully well in his first match, David. So that's an advantage. Really is. He tends to go down the middle a lot on both sides. He likes going over the low part of the net. So there's something in that. If opposition players see these stats, they'll know to cover that one a little bit. In the middle on the first court and again on the second is where most of his aces come from, and most of the balls are directed down there.
Zhizhen Zhang representing Team China to serve.
Let's see if that plays out again. And that was all from his first round match against Thiago Monteiro of Brazil.
15 love.
So Win Predictor is busily recalibrating after the opening service break. Pre-match 90% in favour of Zverev. Fair enough too, the world number 2. Into the net, but there's a lot of pop off the racket of Zhang.
15 all.
Coming out of the middle.
30-15. Net for service.
He served well in that first match, you know, against a player of less stature, but I think it's going to play a major role tonight because we know Zverev will serve well, get his fair share of free points. But Zhang's got the ability to do the same thing.
Team China.
Fast start, best possible start for Team China here.
Team China leads 2 games to love.
Polo Pasta seems to have worked a treat.
Well, you won't be happy with that slow start, Sasha.
15 love.
I mean, that's some big hitting, guys. It's just such a great angle to watch a tennis match here, just to see the physicality of these rallies and the ball speed and the trajectory over the net. Some big hitting.
40 love.
In a way, I find facets of this sport a little unfair. I mean, can you imagine being 6'6" with an arm that looks like a telescopic one? And the angle that creates down into the court? Wow, what an asset.
Game, Team Germany.
So Zverev gets on the board for Team Germany. Zhang with the break leads 2-1.
Team China leads 2 games to 1.
Said that the pinnacles.
Yeah.
30,000 years old. A little bit of work to do early here for Alexander Zverev. It'll be a good test for him and good test for Zhang as well. Getting the early break.
I'd love to see Triple Z crack the top 10. I'd love it. I wonder if it's possible. I mean, he needs a good run to get it's a big step to go from where he is. Imagine the interest that'd create in the sport. Be awesome.
So he's 28, but he's a young 28 in terms of his tennis years.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on the circuit since he was a teenager. He's a relative latecomer. So in terms of the athletes' careers, they're like a sparkler. They start burning and at some point they extinguish.
Yeah.
That can happen pretty quickly.
Some players mature later than others, though, and sometimes that's an advantage. Not always, but it can be. You know, some minds and bodies are not ready for that all-out assault. You know, the media coverage, all of it that goes together with being a high-ranked player. And players, Dave, not only do they mature at different times, but these days they can go well into their 30s. You know, years ago we all thought, gee, if you lasted 10 years, that was a mighty long career. Our great champions in recent times have gone to their late 30s. So he's got time.
He's holding serve well already here. Still maintains that break. First Grand Slam was Wimbledon 2021. It's interesting that the Asian players, he played the Asian Games and won a gold medal there. He's such a massive name in China. First male player to qualify for the main draw at Wimbledon. First in the top 100, first in the top 50. You know, we've seen it with Li Na and what that interest can bring, but you know, he's the male version, the #1, the best they've ever had, and that's a huge amount of attention.
They've got some young ones coming.
Well, that's what happens when you've got some talisman to follow. The young kids come through. They see it. They want to be it. Mark Philippoussis is in the Team Germany team zone.
So I've got Daniel here. Daniel, this feels like a heavyweight kind of a boxing game. Both physical players hitting the ball incredibly hard. It's not the start that we normally see Sasha have, but missing a little bit more than normal. What would you like to see him do differently, or is he having some trouble picking up with a little bit more speed in the game with Zhang?
Yeah, I mean, you're always coming in with 1-3 down. Yesterday was the same with Laura, so I think we all know Sasha's capabilities, and I think obviously he's had kind of a slow start, but yeah, I totally trust in him. He has to definitely raise his level a little bit, but yeah, we all know what he's capable of, and obviously he needs a little bit more cleaner hits, and yeah, I think when he is possible to raise his level, then he can also come back in this set, definitely.
That was a great service game there, and Team Germany done such a great job of being strong and standing with each other and giving that energy that you need, and I'm sure that is to come. But anyway, Daniel, thank you for your time, and good luck.
Appreciate it.
They've got good memories, tennis players, haven't they? Daniel Masua there. 3-1 yesterday, 1-3 yesterday when you came in and spoke to me. You remember the scores at any point of any game, at any time.
It is a strange thing. As you get older, you know, well, I can speak from my own experience. You start forgetting a few things a bit more, but you do remember scores and times and when it happened in a match 25 years ago. It's a strange thing. Yeah, they're embedded in your memory bank.
Daniel Masua, I've been letting Mark off there. Came yesterday, 1-3. Come back when we're winning.
I think I would have led with Daniel. I said, do you know we've got our Australian version? Wally Masuro, do you know? Can you remember him?
Uncle Walter.
Uncle Walt. Well, Daniel's he's a lot better looking than Wally. So come on. Hey, back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, Wally, he was. Oh, yeah.
Time.
Send Wally and Susan our best. Got to 15 in the world, Wally. Not an easy thing to do.
No. Where this man would like to be. He's got to get back into that career high just outside the top 30 at 31, middle of last year. You can yo-yo around a little bit at that level. You have a good week and then the next year you have to defend those points. He's got a good opportunity at the start of the year and great opportunity here against Zverev with the points that are on offer. But second round at the Australian Open last year, so that opens the door for a fast start.
Yeah, you sort of, a breakthrough in one of the majors is a big deal. That can really put you on a rocket north in rankings. Early preparation. All of these modern players are highly likely to put that ball away if it's sitting there short in the court. Here we go. He's got his own line of shoes. Look,
and a tag line as well.
What was that? Amazes.
Yeah. And as we know in the men's game, Roger had his own logo and Rafa had it, but they didn't have a tag line that went with it. So Triple Z's in front.
Oh, he's a marketer's dream, really, isn't he? He's changed the colour of that ponytail since last year, I think. There they go.
You're across what was going on there, Mark. He wasn't happy with the illumination of the board at the back yesterday, Sasha. What's the issue now?
Oh, gosh, I want to know if it was lights or something to do with a monitor. I didn't quite understand. I was trying to catch on to it.
Seemed like he was pointing to the big screen at the top. Not a good service game from Zhang.
It may be the same issue. I mean, he was a little unsettled yesterday, not badly so, but a little bit by the brightness of the advertising at the back of the
guys,
court.
I just found out that he wants to have the court. They were showing the shoes of Zhang, and he wanted to have the, instead of having it on his shoes, he didn't like that.
Oh, he wanted to see the...
Wanted to see the court.
Okay, well, that's John Fitzgerald's fault because he called for the shoes. So if you can just walk down and let him know.
Oh, look, I've got to say, the shoes were a good shot.
Yeah, correct. Sasha's obviously not in the entertainment business. That's actually, so he's watching, see this a lot in track and field, Fitzy, when the athletes are going around the middle distance races, they use the big screen to see the athletes behind them and where they're positioned in the race. So that's a really, if it's not on, sometimes it might go to a different screen. You can actually watch to see where you are. And he maybe wanted to see where Zhang was positioned, what he was doing, what was going on. But we're much more interested in the shoes. Interesting.
Oh, that's a shot. Wow. He's come to play.
Love 13.
Gee, there's a big moment here. This is getting interesting, this first set. That is as good as it gets. Gee, the backhand down the line. If you possess that in the modern game, it's one of the best assets, because most of the winners for a hit down the line here, it's a harder shot to hit than a cross court, like less percentage, but it's where you can do the most damage.
3 break points for the double break.
Fitzy, you mentioned like you'd love to see Triple Z in that top 10. I'll tell you what, he's certainly playing like a player in top 10 right now.
Well, there's only one of us three, David, out of Mark, you and I, that knows what that feels like. I can tell you that.
Please.
And that's got the Chinese fans. And this will be interesting, because he would have dreamt up a scenario that he got off to a good start. Maybe not 2 breaks of serve, but to serve for this opening set elevates the temperature just a little bit more.
New balls here too. Makes it
15 love.
often it makes it a little easier. The ball's faster through the air when they're brand new, more compact. Well, it's always a tough shot to hit when you're backing away so far
30,
and your body weight's moving sort of backwards and sideways, and you try to hit it, hook it down the line. That's this next one. He's way back, body weight going back, and you try to go over that high part of the net. That's low percentage. He's good enough to make it, but still a tough shot. So sometimes you live and die by that one. You know, it's helped him a lot in this first set. Certainly 2 or 3 times at big moments he's made that shot down the line where you can hit a lot of winners. But it's fraught with a bit more danger.
Zverev thought it was long, just paused a fraction. Had Zhang under pressure. Some good defence.
He thought through the air the ball was going long, didn't he? But he made a mistake and hesitated and realised he couldn't argue with the technology because it must have caught the outside edge.
Down the middle.
Well, that's his favourite by Bolt 8's opinion. It's where he wanted to go. He didn't quite get it there, did he?
Use.
I think he's a bit flat. Sasha, he just off a few percentage points, just a little bit flat. That's a bad miss for him on that big point.
He's visibly getting frustrated. When I was down the other end for that interview, he was just looking at his dad, asking him a question of what he's doing and what he thinks should he be standing a little bit further back on the return or coming forward. So just maybe a little lost right now.
Oh, brilliant catch.
Use.
Not what Zhang was looking for on his second set point. Unforced errors for Zverev. Uncharacteristic third set point now. Brilliant effort. Tremendous opening set for Zhizhen.
But 6 games to 2.
Takes it off Alexander Zverev. 6-2.
You can never tell in a two-horse race, but you would imagine that if Zverev wins this second set, which is the only one he needs to worry about right now, he then starts favourite again because he'll have a bit of momentum going into the third. It's the highest ranked player. So Triple Z, to win this, probably needs to keep the foot down early here in the second. He can still win the third, but I think the odds swing heavily back to Sasha if he doesn't. Triples E doesn't win this set, I mean.
And Zhang's got to maintain that momentum that he's built up. Zverev presses. Win predictor still in favour of Team Germany. Long way back from 80% margin at the start. Fitzy, when you come to the tennis, when you're really keen as a youngster, you sit in the front row, and just to make sure you don't miss anything, you bring your binoculars from the front row.
Well, I would have thought at that age, if you are young, your eyes would be good enough.
You know, you just don't want to miss a thing. That's keen.
Where I think he can improve. I mean, he's okay, but for a player of his ilk, I still don't think he's quite good enough with his I don't know about his technique, that's probably a bit unfair, but he's got such long arms. He needs to, I think, compact his volleys a little bit to increase the margin for error, get the racket face a bit closer to the eyes. Those arms are so long, and he gets a bit loose on the volley sometimes. Those long arms help the serve, though, don't they?
They dropped the opening service game in the first set. Holds here. Better start mark for Zverev here, and he'll be looking to just try and find a little bit more energy. She talked about him being a little lethargic. Even the way he's walking here doesn't quite have the same pep in the step that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, look, I think he's just frustrated. He's missing shots that normally he can hit in his sleep, and a lot of unforced errors. Oof, I think the stringer just went down. Sasha's racket, I think it's okay. Look, yeah, look, that volley he missed, Fitzy coming forward, what is, for me, is someone like that coming forward into the net. I think he came in on a wrong shot, first of all. He didn't give himself a chance to come in. He came off a really hard shot. Didn't have a lot of shape on it to give him the opportunity to get closer, and then he misses a volley like that. Yes, it was a big swing. I guarantee he probably won't come to the net for a while. You know what I mean? So to get someone to keep coming forward even when they're missing it is another thing. But that is certainly a part of his game. That is that missing ingredient. That would help him, I think, with his first Grand Slam. You're right, Fitzy.
Well, he's so good at so many facets of the game, isn't he? I just think, and he's so good from the back of the court. But you know what? He lost last year to Medvedev, didn't he, at the AO, and it was a grind, and playing his game, he went down. If there's just that little bit, 2 percentage point difference, if it makes that by coming in more.
To mark suggests that he may not come in. That's probably what he needs to do, isn't it, to come in? You know, this is the...
Well, over time, yeah. I think I just think it would help him.
Got to shake that one off and just reload and go again.
Just win a handful more points over a long match. It makes a big difference at the right time. So, yep, just an opinion.
David, look, he's one of the best hitters of the ball on the tour. I think an incredible mover, considering he's 6'6", one of the best movers on the tour as well. But if you can add that net play game to what he already has, that's just going to make him even more dangerous. You know, it doesn't mean that this guy all of a sudden becoming a serve and volleyer, but to add one sneaky serve and volley in, I mean, he's 6'6" with that serve of his. You know, he's going to have to. It's an easy put away for a volley now and again. It also, you know, keeps his opponent guessing too. You know.
Yeah, it does. It keeps the other guy guessing. I just think if he practices it in matches a little bit, you know, he'll get better at it, and then we know he's going to make the volley when it's an easy one, when he's got time and he's got the other player out of court. But when he's under duress coming into volley, when he's caught there sometimes, it'll help him make the more difficult one. See, good depth there. That's given him an opening.
30-40.
I want to add one more thing onto that. If I'd give him advice, I would say I'd want him to play more doubles on smaller events, because that's a perfect way to work on the volleys.
See the interest level of Zverev's rising rapidly. Change of demeanour.
This is the stats on his forehand. This is Zhang. So he goes. This just shows you he goes both ways. He can go both ways. Interesting, he's not super close to the lines, the sidelines there. He plays it with a bit of safety, but he goes equally across court and away with his forehand. Yeah, we might see a different Sasha now. Not loosening his shoulders up a bit. For sure, he looked flat, didn't he? First set. He didn't have the bowler past him, maybe.
That might have been the issue.
It is a fine line, I think. That particular forehand from that position in the court is a fine line about the safety and the reward that you get going down the line with that one. He's hit the tape a few times with it. It is safer to loop it across court over the lower part of the net and maybe wait for an easier one than that to try and hit the winner.
That point before, not only is that one of the tougher shots you can hit, but that was off a really good slice from Zhang there, and stayed really low, and he went over the highest part of the net, and he tried to hit it pretty flat too. So if you're going to go, you need to get under it, especially off a slice.
Yep. And in contrast, Flipper, he hit two really high percentage forehands the next point. 1. I like it when he uses his forehand, gets the opponent out of court, then goes in down the line with another forehand and comes forward. He can shorten some points with that. And last year at the Open, he did a lot of work through the United Cup and the AO. And if you play more with that attacking style, you can keep points shorter and therefore matches shorter.
Net 6.
Well, Zhang missing the odd one of those now. He made a lot of those early on big points. Backhand down the line. Sometimes you live and die by it. Yeah, well, it's been mentioned earlier, both of these backhands are better than world class. They're exceptional. When he gets set here, Zhang, he lets it rip.
One second. Ladies and gentlemen, the line calling system is down. We have to wait.
Had a reboot.
Pretty good rally for the two guys who've been sitting down for quite a few minutes there.
That's going to impact the stats at the end of the season, isn't it, when they go to the longest game, 20 minutes. 10 of which is probably a delay, and Zverev's demeanour might change here depending on what happens with this point. Break back point.
Well, I like the aggression. I mean, he wanted that point to finish on his racket. And if he doesn't take charge, then Zverev will. Just got a bit anxious on that last forehand, overplayed it. So nod of approval from the coach.
So we finally get there. 20+ minutes all told, and Zverev holds and leads 3-love. Now they get to sit down. Just joining us, it's the opening singles encounter. Team Germany versus Team China. The winner of this encounter tonight will top the group and qualify for the quarterfinals. Zhizhen got off to a fast start. 2 breaks of serve in the opening set to take it 6-2. Zverev, after dropping his opening service game in the first set, held opening effort in the second set, and then broke Zhang's serve, and we just had a long delay, close to 10 minutes. The timing system had a little conniption, line calling system. So Zverev is able to hold serve. So Zhang serving here, trailing of 3, second set, having captured the first 6-2. Fitzgerald alongside me and Mark Philippoussis courtside, and Zhang has been impressive so far. Zverev was a little scratchy in the opening set, starting to reduce the number of those shots, Fitzy, the unforced errors which were banking up in that opening set.
Yeah, I think with the early break though in this second set, it's going to help him loosen his shoulders a bit, I think, Sasha. There's a nice serve volley. Mark Philippoussis will like that one, but you know, he is down a break, and that's when he decides to use it. Not a bad play. Less to lose at this stage, probably, in his mind. Beautiful serve volley. Well, he gets away with it, but that first one was just Harry casual, wasn't it? Just a bit too casually. Probably deserved to lose that point with this first volley.
Harry casual.
Harry casual. Just too loose. I mean, Sasha was down the line all day there for the winner, I think. Yeah, so he's showing signs of going a little bit wayward mentally here. Zhang.
Yeah, interesting development this game. Just looking, you know, the intensity in his body language has dropped. I mean, we've had 3 serve volleys. Normally, I'd be smiling, happy about that, but very out of character for him, and he's got to be careful. He's only down a break. He's going to try and hold here, and you know, he had break point in the last game, and give himself an opportunity to get back on track in his second set.
Well, from Zverev's point of view, that it brings a smile to my face to see him do that, and I like it. I like him incorporating that into his game. Just a fraction more. Not tons, just a fraction.
And you know what, Fitzy? And on those occasions, those exact occasions, because his ground strokes are so big, you know, he's going to have opportunities to do that, and that'll make sure that he'll tell these guys that they can't just chip it back and play deep and get back into the point.
Well, his mental approach has changed in this game. He's gone loose, hasn't he, all of a sudden? I actually don't think that would have been, that's a bad play from inside the baseline here. He gets into position pretty well. He just doesn't make it. It feels like he's, and didn't even look close to making that, actually. He's just dropped off his concentration. Bad game.
So Zverev breaks second time, leads 4-love.
Team Germany leads against 2-love.
We talked at the outset, same number of points won. Fitzy about Zhang and where he's in the ranking, high of 31 in the middle of 2024, currently at 45. Started off this match like a top 10er.
Yeah.
What does he have to do to get up into that and not have games like the previous one? It's probably...
He's got to maintain. Yeah, he's got to maintain his level for longer, doesn't he? You know, there's a lot of players in the world that can play really super well for one set, but you've got to be able to do it for 3 or 5 at a major. And he's dropped off here, which is... Even his body language, you know, it's like he doesn't want to have to concentrate for the full 3 sets here, maybe. I'm not sure.
Certainly physically walking between points is a little more stilted, stiffer than he was earlier. Maybe that sit down of 10 minutes has contributed to that. Certainly Zverev has had a reset after the break.
One's locked in now and the other's gone wayward.
You know, I guess just thinking, you know what, this set's gone, let me just relax and start focusing on the 3rd set. But it's a dangerous mindset because you can't think that he can just switch on the intensity like, you know, 1 second to the other with a player like Sasha on the other end, even if he does start fresh in the 3rd set.
I agree, it is dangerous, and you see some good players that get away with that, but you don't see too many great players who let themselves or give themselves that leeway of just turning off for a set and saving themselves for the 3rd. It's so dangerous. The great players compete from start to finish usually. Because that's what it does. You lose your concentration, you don't move your feet as well, you lose your intensity. I mean, he missed that by a long way, that one. If he switched on, he's probably going to make that or only just miss it. That was a bad miss.
Having it all his own way in this 2nd set is the world number 2, Alexander Zverev. It's 5-love.
Team Germany leads 5 games to 0.
我操，我都想用06战术，但可惜他妈的，你不是要大一点，要大一点。
Time. Love 15. Love 13.
This is not a good look at the end of this set, and it will be interesting to see if he can snap his fingers and get back into the action at full speed in that third set.
Thank you, boy.
Well,
14.
if you have this mindset, it is difficult to get to the top 10, David, I can tell you that. So it's been a disappointing second set here for Zhang. Not over yet, but
I mean, if you want to focus on the third, okay, but you'd like to think, okay, let me start serving first in the third set. Let me hold here. Try and break if he holds, no problem, but I'm serving first in the third set. Keep the pressure on. Just try and get ahead in this match again.
Advantage, Team China.
even that backhand slice, I mean, that's not full throttle. He's just taking the foot off the throttle here. Don't know why.
He needs to find a way to send that to the locker room, that sort of play. Worked hard to get back in his service game. Saved the 2 break points, but that had no ferocity whatsoever, or intent.
Dave, if you were his coach right now, you wouldn't be happy with this second set.
Advantage, Team Germany.
And I always go one step further, Mark. I always think if a guy does this in one set, he doesn't deserve to win the match. He might come back and win it. I'm not sure he deserves to.
Strange old set. Tickle in the back half. Zverev completely dominant. So we're tied up at a set apiece after 6-love for Team Germany. 6 games in a row to win the second.
15 love.
Zverev headband, the coat of arms of Germany.
This is a big serving from Sasha. It's exactly what he needs. He wants to keep the momentum going in this match. It's a huge first serve. I just love the ball toss. Very consistent, allowing that 6-6 frame to get into that serve down on the court.
So despite the long delay, Zverev old serve continues on his run in the opening game of the third set. Makes the most of the levers, doesn't he, in the height.
Gee, look at how high that ball toss is and how high he gets up with the long levers. Increases the trajectory down into the court dramatically.
Almost at the top of the ball toss as well. It's a long way in the air. Zhang doing his best to really frustrate Zverev, who's up and ready to go once again.
And to be fair, I blame the rules. I blame the rules of tennis for this.
Well, the change of ends after the one was for the sun, wasn't it? That's the original reason for the players changing ends? Not to get a towel and have a drink. And
no, exactly.
Well, I dare say, Fitzy, this will continue as a topic of conversation because, as we know, Australian Open, long matches, long nights. Matches, it's an endurance test for all concerned.
But, you know, if you make a rule, the players will reverse engineer it so that it suits them. And the shot clock is part of that problem, I think. They all look at it and then they run it down to the maximum. So that's where his volley needs to improve. It's a high-risk attempt at a drop volley. That one, he tried to slide the racket face under it, create a drop volley with spin. That's difficult. in anyone's language. Should have pumped that volley deep, I think. It's a safer shot, and it's a high percentage chance to win it.
First game for a set. And give him a little bit of confidence, get back on the scoreboard, look up and see that it has a game next to his name. Just a reminder, this group well and truly alive. Group E, the winner of tie tonight advances to the quarterfinal. Depending on the results, the loser of this match still a chance to proceed through. The winner of the three groups joins the best of the runner-up in the quarterfinals. And the winner of those two encounters heads to Sydney for the semis.
By the way, 217 Ks on that first serve.
Germany. Some purpose in the play of Alexander Zverev. They've served to lead 2-1 in this third set.
Team Germany leads 2-1.
Good crowd in at RAC Arena in Perth for New Year's Eve. Chinese fans are plenty. Had a lot to support and cheer about in the opening set when Zhizhen Zhang, pretty comfortable really, 6-2 in just 33 minutes. Then the tables were turned. Zverev 6-love. Set went for 51 minutes, but at least 15 of those were caused by an outage of the line judging system. In fact, we had the real-life line judges called off standby. They were about to come out. Not working again. We're on serve in the third set.
Take your seats quickly, please. Thank you. Love 15.
Well, I think Sasha's lost his rhythm too. He's a little flat again. And I understand why.
He's definitely found that rhythm again, Zhang. It's some big hitting, what we saw in the first set. It's good to see the intensity is back.
Much better intensity from Zhang. He's under assault from Zverev. It's his serve. Crowd now will get increasingly vocal.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not sure he needs to unload on that one quite so early in the rally. You know, he hits a winner, you say, great shot, but his backhand at cross court is so heavy. He's Pretty hard for Zverev to do much when he goes there consistently.
Very low.
Hit it pretty well. It was coming at a rate of knots, wasn't it? Tough to control that volley. Looked pretty good though.
Low.
Just ramping up the intensity. Holding to love. Team Germany 3-2.
2-2.
Последний розыгрыш 630, я его сдвинул пока, потому что я управлял, мне со всей дыры ударил слева.
So speaking his father's native tongue, original native tongue. Played for Russia as an under 21-year-old.
Once again, Zverev out of the chair early. Still counting down, so Zhang taking the full allotment of time. Young fans enjoying their night at the tennis. Serious little component of the match now. Kind of get the feeling that Zverev, who hasn't had a break point on his serve since that third game of the second set before the delay, he's been very strong. He might go on the attack here.
Well, Zhang's going to need to serve well in this game, you'd expect. Just an inch of daylight here for Zverev. Just a little off balance, wasn't he? Not quite there to make that one. big errors. And, you know, I can't help thinking that by not competing hard enough in the second set, it can cause that a little bit. It remains to be seen, but it worries me. 5:30. Three bad errors.
And Zverev's taken the pace off a bit just to keep the ball in play, it seems, and see what pressure that can build on Zhang. It's been some smart and clever play from the world number 2. 2 break points.
That's a good close at the net. He's got good instincts coming forward, Zhang.
Germany.
Really pumped up now. Gets the break, leads 4-2 in the deciding set.
Team Germany leads 4-2.
Well, he didn't just miss those balls by a small margin. They were big margins. And I just wonder whether the lack of concentration when he took the foot off the pedal in the second set, it can come back to haunt you. And this match is on Zverev's racket now.
was going on at the start there before the serve. He just had a little pause and
14, 15.
stretch at the back of the court. So despite that, you saw that's the break, hold serve, and now out to a 5-2 lead. Something with the wrist, is it, or?
Team Germany leads 5 games to 2.
Right arm. 5-2.
Потяни, подержи руку.
Little jammed up, perhaps.
Я сейчас мяч начал бить.
Я тебя поэтому и говорю, тебе надо выбираться. Что ты хочешь? Ты 2 месяца побывал в полтора. Так как ты в Париже, ты не будешь так играть. Главное ногами работать, поднять, низкими все поднять. Не играй удобно, куда тебе удобно. Не играй куда тебе не нужно. Не важно даже, если он там стоит.
Я тебе сейчас по-другому. Новый президент, подери. Сей, просто дави. Ты вот выше. Выше нет. Вот. Чувствуешь?
It continues on various body parts of the right arm of Zverev. Not sure he appreciated Dad's thumb, and interesting.
Well, he's a strong man,
Yeah.
Alex Senior. He doesn't seem too concerned, but it's always a little bit of a worry. There's always niggles, isn't there, for an athlete?
So Zhang now serving to stay in it.
Love 15.
Mark, it's not looking like a good scoreline, is it, right now? I mean, when it's all said and done, Zhang led by a set, and since the end of the first set, he's won 2 games.
Yeah, especially the tennis he was playing that first set. To win that first set with 2 breaks.
Yep.
I know Sasha, a little more unforced errors than he normally does, but my goodness, he was playing some big tennis.
Yeah, I tell you, guys around the world, they see these score lines, they take note of them, and there'll be a lot of people put this in their memory bank.
Net, 7 sets.
Yeah, okay, he won the first set and then he went away. But it works against you over time, surely. Especially if he loses this game. I mean, still in the match on paper.
How difficult it's going to be to just turn the tennis back on like a switch from one thing to another, not just also the intensity too. You know, it's hitting the ball big, mixing up the play. Yes, that backhand down the line is a gamble. My goodness, was he hitting well.
point there, but and he got a little bit of luck, Zhang. When he wanted to go down the line, just hit it slightly, and it actually worked in his favour. This next ball, he wants to come in down, wraps it around the frame, and it drops short because of it. Good intent there, though. Pinpoint on the slice, wasn't he? He was forced to go forward. Zverev handled it beautifully. What an approach. That one. Look at the depth.
And a nice volley here to finish it off.
Advantage Team Germany.
That is big time hitting. And that gives him match point.
Thank you.
It was a slow start, but it was a very fast finish. Totally dominant over the last 2 sets. He takes the win here and gets Germany off to a good start. Looking for a spot in the quarterfinal. Alexander Zverev. 2-6, 6-love, 6-2. Over 2 hours duration, impacted by the delay.